Gracias.
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 Hi, my name is Maria Lindenberg and I'm the president of the Liga MAC Board of Directors. I'd like to welcome you to our virtual donor appreciation event this year. And on behalf of our Liga MAC board, our staff, our students and their families, a big thank you for your generous support. Sadly, due to COVID, an in-person event is not possible this year. And another one of our marquee events, the Knick-Knack Annual Golf Tournament hosted at the fabulous Carencia Golf Club, is also not possible for a second year in a row, again due to COVID. This past year has been difficult as the pandemic changed our lives and created challenges never before contemplated in our lifetime. And for our students and their families, life has become infinitely more complicated. And we simply couldn't do what we do in support of the community of San Jose del Cabo without the ongoing support of you, our donors, our volunteers, and our community partners. So today, in humble appreciation for our golfers, Seth Westfall, the head professional at Carencia, has created a short video with some tips to help us to improve our game. Elva Haro, our executive director, will share a little bit about how our students and our families are doing. And then we'll close with a prize draw conducted by Leanne LeBoeuf, one of my fellow board members, and Linda Myers, one of our Knick-Knack tournament co-hosts and a Liga MAC super supporter. So in closing, we are sincerely grateful for your generous and ongoing support. Thank you. Over to you, Seth.
Hi, my name is Seth Westfall. I'm the director of golf here at Carencia Golf and Beach Club in beautiful Los Cabos, Mexico. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about bunker play and some of the basics. I want you to keep in mind that the pros aim for the bunkers on some of their longer shots into the green, especially par fives and such, and amateurs are deathly afraid. So when we see that kind of differential, it's important that we understand bunkers a little better and spend some time in them to make ourselves better at this particular part of the craft. We've got several shots here at our green, but we're going to start with the basics. And I truly believe that you want to build one golf swing, and you have one golf swing for your driver, and the same golf swing for your wedge, and the same golf swing out of the bunker. So the key is not to alter your setup too much. We're obviously trying to remove some sand here and the ball from the bunker, and these is greenside explosion shots we're discussing. But we don't want to change or alter too much of anything. Now, some of you may have very specific swings, and that may need to be adjusted, but for most people, they can go ahead and take a full swing and hit sand out of the bunker, right? So full swing, and that's all we're trying to do here. We're just trying to launch sand out of the bunker. Now, your sand may be more compact, your sand may be lighter or fluffier. All those things will come into effect, but the ultimate goal is knocking sand out of the bunker. If I can knock sand out of the bunker, I can play this game. I have my 54-degree wedge here and my 60-degree wedge here, and we'll get into club selection a little bit. But if you have a club that you're most comfortable with, that's what I suggest you start with in the bunker. And again, the key with all of this is that you spend some time. I'm going to give you some information today, but the key with all this is you spend a little time in the bunker. Nothing worse than getting in a bunker for the first time in 3 or 4 weeks and realize you haven't hit a shot out of the bunker, or going to a new course and getting in the bunker and realizing you didn't take any practice shots out of the sand, and you're a little questionable about what the composition is going to be like. How's the club going to move through it? Is the club going to kick back quick or not? Right? Part of that is it has to do with your bounce. Well, let's get just a basic bunker swing. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up in our normal stance. We're going to take our normal swing and we're going to take some sand. Some people might feel that it helps them to dig their feet into the bunker a little bit. I don't personally do that, but there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever helps, as long as you dig in the same amount every time. So that's the differential, right? If we're digging in heavier one time and lighter another time, all of a sudden the bottom of that swing, how deep we're going to dig into that sand is going to be different with the club as well. So it's important that we dig in the same amount every time, or that we just stay on top. Now, for those of you that are really struggling with your bunker game, one of the key things is where we're impacting the sand. And what I suggest is that you just draw a line in the sand. And then you go ahead and you straddle that line. Take it right off your belly button, right off your chin, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a couple swings, and you're not gonna try and control where you're hitting the ground. You're just gonna let that happen. So I'm gonna take a couple swings here. All right, boom. Notice those are big thuds, big thumps. If you go to a PGA Tour event, You're gonna hear a big thump if you turn your back and just listen to their bunker shots. No one's caressing the ball out of there. This is an explosion shot, explosion being the primary word. So I've noticed here on these two swings, I'm entering about 2 inches behind my center line, which is good. We want to enter about 2 inches behind the ball. So for me to hit a bunker shot, I'm going to go ahead and put that ball right in the center of my stance. And that's going to create a basic bunker shot for me. And again, all I'm trying to do is knock sand out. Bunker play is one of the few plays where the club face doesn't actually come into contact with the ball, okay? And because of that, we could do all kinds of things with that face. But heavy rough and bunkers is one of the few where the club face doesn't actually hit the ball. So all I'm trying to do is remove sand. And we call it excavating, yeah? And keep in mind that as you're excavating the sand, there's loft on that club that's gonna take it up. I'm not trying to help that ball in the air. I've got loft on the club. I can open the face and increase the loft on that club. So help in the air isn't the key. The key is to actually try and excavate sand forward. So if I'm able to knock sand out onto this green, then I can be a good bunker player. You'll notice my swings are pretty aggressive. Sand is heavy as a general rule. Unless we're doing crushed coral in Hawaii or something like that, sand is heavy. So it's okay to be aggressive. There's actually not any, as long as you're entering in a consistent place in the sand, there's no such thing as too aggressive, because I can always increase my loft. Grab my 60 degree, make the same swing, again, aggressive. If I'm really worried about hitting a short bunker shot, I can grip down a little bit. That'll reduce the club head speed and the distance that the ball travels. I can also take that club and open it up. When I do that, I'm going to open up the club and I'm going to grip it from the side. Now that face will be aimed dead right, but it won't matter because again, the club face isn't going to contact the ball. If it does, we're in trouble. But the club face isn't going to contact the ball. The key with that to remember is as you open that face, you're actually increasing the bounce. So that club's going to want to come back out. We watered this area last night and it's early in the morning, so the ground is pretty firm, so my club isn't digging in much. I don't have much bounce on this club, so that's fine. I can actually get down after it. But if you're playing a place like I grew up in the Northwest that always has wet bunkers, you're going to want, as a general rule, less bounce. And if you're playing a place where it's soft and the club can really dig in, you're going to want more bounce. Now, each individual person's angle of attack will adjust that. So get with your PGA professional, have a discussion. It's a real quick talk and we'll get you sorted out really quickly. But that's it for bunker. All I'm trying to do is explode some sand out. So now we get into the dynamics of it. How can I hit different lengths of shots, okay? And what we do is we have something we call the chicken foot. So if I'm trying to hit to this back right pin here, I could draw a line there. And that's a pretty deep shot, so I'm actually gonna grab my 54 degree and just take a normal stance. Now, if I'm square, so that my feet are square to that line and the face is square to that line, that ball is going to travel a little further. All I have to do in order to hit a higher, softer shot is open up my face, again, grip it from the side, and open up my stance. And then as I've opened my stance, I want to swing along those lines, which means that if my stance is very open, I'm actually swinging very left of the target. I never want to open my stance and then still swing towards the target, okay? We're not trying to manipulate that. Again, I want one golf swing for all of my golf. I don't want to have to adjust too much, right? So, same thing. This is actually my 60 degree, but we'll go ahead this way. So if I square up and I go ahead and I take a nice full bunker shot, and I had to fly that most of the way there because I ain't using the 60, but a nice full swing, ball's in good shape. I can make the exact same swing and hit the ball much shorter by opening the face. My face is pointed out here about 35 degrees right of target, and I'm going to open up my stance slightly left of target. Same swing. And the ball hardly got halfway there. All right? So being able to adjust that face and being able to play with that is so important. Now, of course, these are skills that you have to develop. You have to spend some time in the bunkers. I would admonish you that every time you go out and play, jump in the bunker and hit 4 or 5 shots. Even if you jump in the bunker and just take some swings in the sand to feel the consistency that day and feel the consistency at that course. That'll give you that much more confidence when you end up in the bunker out there on the 14th or 15th hole. So it's very, very important that you spend a little time in here. And the cool part about bunkers is you can have all kinds of different shots available to you. So if you get really good, you can actually spin the ball directionally. You can hit high soft shots just by adjusting where the ball is in your stance forward generally. And again, that's assuming that we're entering the sand, you know, a couple inches behind it. I always say one of the coolest part about bunkers is that you have the largest amount of discrepancy possible to still hit a good shot. So with this back pin here, I could take my 60 degree and I can make the same swing. And if I enter 1 inch behind the ball, it's going to carry almost all the way there and spin a lot. If I enter 2 inches behind the ball, it's going to carry probably 70% of the way in there and roll out 30%. And if I hit 3 inches behind the ball, it's going to carry about 40% of the way there and roll out the other 60%. So you actually have a nice margin of error for your shots. We don't get that on the fairways always, sometimes out of the rough and sometimes off the tee. But that's one of the great things about bunkers. But you have to spend time in order to make this happen, okay? And remember, the differential between the face direction and the path is the key. And you always want to open that face and grip the club from the side. If we keep the face square, grip the club, and then open it up, our hands are going to want to return to a neutral position. If I stand here and just have my hands down like this, look, my palms face each other. Unless I'm a Neanderthal, right? I have type O blood, so maybe. But my palms face each other. And that's how they want to grip the club. And as I swing the club, that's the position they're going to want to return to. They're not going to want to return to a position like this. If they do, that's really going to be tough for the rest of our game. So very, very key that you set yourself up for success by adjusting the club for it. If I had a long bunker shot, say 30, 40, 50 yards, I'd be using a pitching wedge, 9 iron, 8 iron. I've used a 4 iron in competition before. All that's available to you, right? Because we're in a bunker, the face isn't actually contacting the ball, and we can do lots and lots of different things. So let's talk real quick about slopes and lies. Ball above your feet, ball below your feet, that's pretty simple in the bunker. It's not going to affect much just because again, that face isn't coming into contact. So there's not such a differential as there would be on the course. But on an uphill slope or downhill slope, what do? And the key is to match your body lines to the slope. So if I'm here on flat ground, and as a right-handed player, my right shoulder is a little lower than my left shoulder because of the type of grip I have. When I go to play off of a slope, I'm going to want the same. So if it's on an upslope, I'm going to want to match that shoulder line. Downslope, same way. I'm going to want to match that shoulder line. I recognize that on an upslope, that means the ball is going to come out higher and softer. And on a downslope, it's going to come out lower and run more. So what do? On an upslope, if I had to go to a shorter pin, I'd still be playing my 54 or my pitching wedge because that slope is already increasing the loft of the ball coming out of there. And same on a downslope, I decrease. So if it's a downslope and it's normally distance-wise a 54-degree shot, I'm going to go with my 60 degree, maybe even open it up a little bit. There is a point of diminishing returns. And remember, there's 3 types of bunker play. We call it up, out, and in, right? Up means, up, on, and in. Up means I got it out of the bunker. For most people, that would be glorious. On means I actually got it on the green, even better. And in means it had a chance of going in the cup. And so remember that you got to figure out which type of bunker player you are and then make adjustments accordingly. So if I have a tough downhill lie shot and I'm an out guy, I'm just trying to get the ball out, I'm going to go with my highest lofted club. I'm going to make sure I hit it out. If I'm an in guy, then I'm going to make some decisions on, hey, I got to land it here, bounce it there, and we can read the greens accordingly, okay? Now keep in mind that the conditions of the bunker will dictate your shot in a lot of ways. There's only so much you can do differential to the conditions of the bunker. So good players will recognize when they hit a bunker shot and they end up on the high face, that ball is going to come out high and soft. Yes, I can hit a pitching wedge, I can hit a 9 iron, 8 iron, whatever I need to. But recognize that I've hit a shot into the bunker and it's not in a great place, right? So the key is, so I'm going to go to this short right pin. The key is here, I know it's going to come out high and soft, which is going to help me. I'm going to go ahead and stay with my 60 degree. I'm going to adjust my body lines to the bunker. So that, what I'm saying is I'm not going to stand here like this. I'm going to go ahead and adjust my lines to the bunker so I can take the same type of divot as I would out of there. Nice and soft. And again, sand is what? heavy. So I'm gonna go at this, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're taking sand, there's nothing wrong with going at it heavy. By the way, if you swing soft and you don't take sand, you're in trouble too. So commit to it and get after it. So adjust my body lines to the slope. Got a nice face here, and I'm gonna get after it. Iron stop, about 10 feet past the hole. Not what we wanted, but again, up, on. Apparently I'm an on guy today instead of an in guy. That's the keys to bunker. It's so important to recognize where you're impacting the ground. I'd say jump on that line. Even if you just haven't been in the bunker for a while, it's a great practice. Get in and take some sand. Find out what it's like for you to take sand and where do you take the sand. If I take the sand back, I'm gonna go ahead and place the ball back while I play. If I take the sand forward, I'm gonna go ahead and place the ball a little forward. So don't fight your nature while you're on the course. Accept it and realize what it's gonna do for the ball. Now, as a good player, we wanna be able to play that ball forward when we want, hit a higher, softer shot, play it back where we want, hit a lower, spinnier shot. So all those things can be available to you if you spend some time on them. Don't be afraid of the bunker. It can be your friend. It can save your ball from going out. It can save your ball from thick rough, which can actually be more penal depending on the course. And it's a really cool medium to play a lot of different shots. So enjoy yourself out there. Remember, a little information can make all the difference. I hope this helps your game in the next few weeks.
Melba Harrow, Liga MAC Executive Director. The pandemic has impacted our lives in many ways. While we experience difficult moments, the pandemic also brought out the best in us. In Liga MAC, we witness this kindness through your generosity to help others less fortunate. During my home visit with students, I always tell them about the kind-hearted men and women that make Liga MAC possible. I wish I could have a camera connected to my brain so you could see the faces of our students and especially their moms and dads when I tell them that I come on your name to see how we can assist with their situation. Our families are extremely stressed because they have lost their jobs and they are doing everything and anything possible to provide for their families, including taking on debt. Women are suffering even more, as in some cases, abuse has increased, and isolation has impacted significantly the emotional well-being of our students. We have provided our families with increased food vouchers, medical aid, computers, and internet access. But the pandemic also highlighted the need for emotional support, which we have provided with professional psychological care and the uninterrupted hard work and moral support of our small team of 3. Parents often tell me why people who do not know us care so much. It is a blessing that we are being helped by someone who's not even family. Please say thank you in our name. These words come often with tears of relief. A mother once told me, I was desperate and losing all hope. Thank you for helping us. Hand in hand, in Liga MAC, we have impacted the lives of so many people in the community of San Jose del Cabo. With your continued support, we will spread the good work well into the future. Muchas gracias.
Hi, my name is Josue, and I am a senior student of Liga MAC. In the name of all students and families, I want to say thank you for everything you did this difficult year.
Thank you, Seth, for your wonderful golf lessons. We really appreciate you taking the time to help Liga MAC. Now we're going to do the drawing for the prizes in appreciation of our wonderful donors.
And I want to start off by thanking our sponsors, all of whom donated the prizes that we're about to draw for. Okay, you ready, Linda?
Yes.
Okay, this is for the first prize, which is 3 bottles of Decima Cab Merlot and 3 bottles of Corona Del Val Sauvignon Blanc, courtesy of Baja Wines. Value $100 US. And the winner is Colette and Bob Benoyer.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, and the second prize, we have 1 hour of physical therapy evaluation, preliminary treatment and exercise prescription with Dr. Rachel Knobloch, value $120. And the winner is John and Sandy Valentine. Congratulations. And our third prize, we have 1 hour of physical therapy evaluation, preliminary treatment and exercise prescription with Dr. Rachel Knobloch, value $120 US. And the winner is Nancy and Rob Olson. And the next one, want to read the next one?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Our fourth prize is the mobility assessment and coaching session with Eric Perizek of Sport Performance. Value $175. And the winner is Sharon and Bill Constable. Our fifth prize is Dinner for Six, prepared in your home by Tez Abbott, approximate value $500. And the winner is Ronald and Deirdre Baker. And finally, for our last prize, which is 1 round of golf for 4 people at the Cove at Cabo del Sol, value $1,200 US. And the winner is Bill Shepard.
Now we're going to be notifying you by email shortly, and you will receive a certificate that you present to the sponsor to claim your prize. And again, we thank you so sincerely for all your wonderful donations.
Thank you.
Thank you.